Welcome back. A former acting Johannesburg mayor, Kenny Kunene, spent his days focusing on hijacked buildings in the city. Kunene, who is Johannesburg's transport MMC, was acting mayor while Kabelo Gwamanda was away. On Sunday, Kunene joined the MMCs of Public Safety and Human Settlements when they visited the reportedly hijacked Casamia building in Berea. Kunene was seen speaking to residents. He told them paying rent to anyone other than the Johannesburg Social Housing Company is illegal. He urged community members not to protect the hijackers. He said authorities were left with no choice but to act. Speaking to the media on Monday, Kunene indicated his focus will be on hijacked buildings. He expressed his concern at the state of hijacked buildings in the city, saying some even had dump sites inside them. Now, for more on this, we are now joined by the Johannesburg Transport MMC and former acting mayor, Kenny Kunene, and he joins us via our line. Mr. Kunene, thank you so much for joining us here on the late edition. Of course, we have seen that you were indeed the acting mayor in the city of Johannesburg for at least 48 hours while Kabelo Gwamanda was away. When it comes to inspecting these buildings, if you could just take us through it. I mean, we've seen it on social media, you visiting these various buildings, and that has also gained a lot of traction on social media from Johannesburg residents.
Thank you very much, Mbali, and good evening to your viewers. Yes, we went to inspect the buildings. I got a complaint on Sunday whilst I was at Dobsonville Stadium, and I immediately called the MMC of Public Safety and Human Settlement, as the building is managed or owned by Doshko on behalf of the city. And then, and when we got there, we found that the building is very much unsafe, very much unhealthy. You can see when you walk in that the garbage and the rubbish is being dumped right in the middle of the building. It's smelly, it's rotten. When you enter the building from outside, you also see a pile of garbage and rubbish. There are booby traps, and because it's dark, you can't see them. And once you fall in there, you can break your leg, but you can also go down, and it takes you to the basement, where you can break your legs, and then you find people waiting for you there, where they would rob you. So the building structurally is very much unsafe. Health-wise, it's very much unhealthy. That's why we brought the MMC of Health and Social Development when we went the following day. But also you find in one flat of a 3-bedroom, 3 families, not individuals, families are sharing that flat, and they are sharing one kitchen and one toilet, one bath. So and these people are taking money from them. So we then decided that we have to visit the other buildings that the people were complaining about. And the complaints are very simple. The people are saying we are paying rent in our buildings. We are paying rates and taxes. But these buildings, you see wires running around the illegal connections of electricity, illegal connections of water. So we are also going to stop paying for rates and taxes and electricity and water, because these people are staying here for free. So
if I can quickly also come in there, Mr. Kunene, I saw that you went indeed to some in the Joburg CBD, also visited some of the buildings in Windsor, and something that has also been questioned and largely criticized. There was a video doing the rounds on social media where one building was being demolished, and you were not sure if whether somebody was actually inside that building. There's also clips of you seen trying to manhandle some of those who were living inside of these buildings. When it comes to your manner and your approach, one was some actually questioning if whether you were not infringing on some of the human rights of those people living in those buildings. What is your reaction to that?
What is human rights when people are staying in a building that has burnt down? There's feces all over the building. The neighbors are complaining that the smell of this feces goes into their windows when Nyaupes are staying there. Number one, we are not morons. Whoever thinks that that building was hit on that corner because, and we did not know if people are inside, they are very, very much stupid. We went into that building before we can do anything. I am an action man. Of South Africans are being violated every day with the rate of crime that we see in our country. The human rights of the citizens of South Africa, law-abiding citizens, are being violated every day with these hijacked buildings where people who are paying rates and taxes must now even pay for those who hijack buildings. Number one, once you hijack a building, you've committed a crime. You've broken the law. So they can criticize however they want. I am acting in the best interest of South Africans. If I have to flatten the whole of Hillbrow, I will flatten it. If I have to flatten the whole of Berea, I will flatten it. But we are not going to be stopped by critics who are sitting in the comfort of their one-bedroom flats, or who are sitting in their houses with heaters, with high walls and electric fences, when our people are suffering from criminality that is being protected by these buildings. Drugs are being kept in these hijacked buildings. Drugs are being kept in these hijacked buildings. I never manhandled anyone. We arrived there and we saw some people closing the door from inside. A garage door sort of.
Okay, Mr. Kunene, if I can also just come in there quickly, when it comes to whether you were legally in the clear to evict some of these people or who were in these buildings, I hear you raising valid points there when it comes to the conditions that some of these people were living in, and also demolishing some of these structures that these people were living in. Were you legally in the clear to conduct those demolitions and also those raids?
What legal is needed there? I am the mayor. I have the NMC of public safety. We are inspecting the buildings. Public safety has got EMS under it. And EMS is the one that actually gives certificates that buildings are safe or not. So EMS officials are with us. They are saying, we have already written many reports about this building that is not safe. We have Health and Social Development, MMC, who is with us there. The inspector says this place is unhealthy for people to stay in. We don't need a letter from somewhere to go into a building. We are exercising the mandate that the citizens of Johannesburg have given us. A councillor can go into a building without me as the mayor. A councillor can go into a building. A councillor can go into a shop of a Pakistani who is selling expired goods and say, I want to inspect your goods, because he has got the right to protect his constituency. So there is nothing legal or illegal about what we're doing. We can go into any building, especially when people have complained.
And Mr. Kunene, now that
yes,
you are no longer the acting mayor, because we understand that you were acting mayor for at least 2 days, will this program continue and be carried out by the current mayor, Kabelo Gwamanda, or does it end here?
I'm not sure, but remember, this is not just a mayoral program. Sisimbali, last month, in April, myself and the NMC of Public Safety went, after a complaint again was brought to him as the NMC of Public Safety, we went to a building in Hillbrow called Vanille Court. We went to do the same thing. We went in, we inspected, we found garbage inside. It was smelling, unsafe, unhealthy. We evacuated the people. EMS came, they said, no, we have assessed this building many times. This building is unsafe. We are going to evict those people. They are getting notices that we are going to evict them. So The MMC of Public Safety called me as the MMC of Transport because he wanted me to bring front-end loaders so that we can come and deal with the garbage that was outside, load it onto the trucks and clean the area. So we do interdepartmental programs. So it does not need the mayor. We are going to continue with the MMC of Public Safety to visit these buildings, warn these people, and those who don't want to be warned, we will evict them.
All right, then. Thank you very much, Mr. Kenny Kunene. Unfortunately, we have indeed run out of time. That is the MMC for Transport in the city of Johannesburg, Kenny Kunene.